In fact, it's difficult to imagine an existence without music. For me, it's quite impossible. My entire life has been devoted to music. Ever since I started studying the piano as a boy and dreaming of being a great composer, and then going on to producing Beatle records and writing film scores and working with some of the finest talents in the world. I need music, and I don't mean just professionally. I think you'll find to some extent pretty well everybody does.
We know that from his earliest times, man has been singing and dancing and making music. But where does this music come from? What is it for?
What is music? I don't know how you define music. What is music? You wrote a few notes in a piece of paper, not even necessarily, carry it here, and you play it. And it disappears.
What is this? I can't touch it. I can't see it. I can't grab it. I can't hold it. I can't put it in my pocket. I can't go and buy it, play with it. It's just there.
There's great power in this stuff. It's very powerful. It's an aphrodisiac. It is, it's a huge force. And if we can harness that force, you can, affect all kinds of changes and move huge masses of people.
Enabled them to do it.
And conversely, a good tune will give rise to beautiful words.
Now, I've got this melody. It's rolling along. Now, what is in that? What's the story in that? To me, it's like, here's the block of marble, and I'm the sculptor, and I've got to get inside that marble and find out what that sculpture is. There's something inherent in the melody that's telling a story already. And if you grew up, as I did, listening to instrumental music, what does it mean? What did he say? It's fraught with meaning. It doesn't have any words, but it's inherent in that melody as an emotional message. This man is crying out to us from 200 years ago, bang, 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 bang. The hand of fate knocking on the door. So I had this melody, and the melody is pretty, so I have this propensity to not want to write all pretty words. I want to throw in some few negative things, something that's a little bit disturbing. She can kill with a smile. She can wound with her eyes. She can ruin your faith with a casual lie. She only reveals what she wants you to see. So I've built up some tension in the lyric. She hides like a child but she's always a woman to me. And there's a resolution.
And you come back home again.
Yes.
Let's look at the raw material in our music. We've only got 7 notes in our scale. And then the note again. And those 7 notes, together with the black ones, form 12 notes. And from those 12 notes, all the great music you've ever heard has come. So can we, in fact, sometimes communicate more clearly through music rather than words? For Billy Joel, writing a melody enabled him to explain to his daughter one of life's great mysteries.
She asked me this very profound question. It was a few years ago. Before she went to sleep, Daddy, what happens when we die? I had an idea for a melody, and I thought this would be the ideal use for this melody. I would explain to my daughter, this is my theory of what happens when you die. And the music goes like this.
You sang it?
And it became a song, yeah, it became this lullaby, which we recorded. I think I know what you've been asking me. I think you know what I've been trying to say. And I ended it and I said, someday we'll all be gone, but lullabies go on and on. They never die, that's how you and I will be. Just like music will go on and on and on, a good piece of music, and that's my theory. That's where we go when we die. We go into somebody else's heart. And I was worried she was going to maybe get scared, but she understood it immediately. As soon as she heard it with the music, she goes, well, like the music. Like that will go on, so I'll go on. So that's right.
You know, I know some people who will sit down and they go to compose a tune, but then it suddenly comes out. You go, I've not heard that before. They go, oh, shoot, yeah, that's, you know, Gershwin or something like that. And they're so programmed with all these tunes and having learned them since when they were tiny kids that they find it very difficult to find a new melody.
When I think I've written something which is simple and eloquent, I always say somebody had to have done this before. Uptown Girl. The essence of the composition is the... late 1700s. It's got the, what do they call that bass? Alberti.
I mean, that's classical, the way you played it then.
Well, I heard a piece of music on the radio the other day on a classical station. And that was it. When it went somewhere else, it was Mozart. And I said, he wrote Uptown Girl. Maybe his relatives are going to come after me with a lawsuit, but I think almost everything within our scale, within our chromatic scale, has pretty much been covered. It's really, at this point in composition, it's the intention and the attitude and the styling and the arranging and the production of it. But the series of notes, it's very hard to come up with a completely original series of notes which is melodic and simple. But I've stopped second-guessing where it came from.
Feels just like ice around my heart.
Another variation in our musical scale produces the blues.
Yes. I got a real cold feeling. Feels just like ice around my heart.
The singer bends the pitch of some of the notes, giving the blues its own musical style.
And I know I'm gonna quit somebody. Yeah. Every time this feeling starts. Now wave your hand if you think you know what I'm talking about.
The effect on the listener, however, might not always be what we expect.
When you left last Friday night.
Actually, listening to sad music when you're sad can make you feel better. I don't know why that is. When you listen to the blues, you know, you... Oh, baby, I've been missing you all night long. Oh, baby. And I hear somebody singing that when I'm down and I'm missing somebody, and I'm sad. I listen to that, and I steep myself in it, and I wallow in it, and suddenly I feel better. It's almost like a grieving process. You have to give in to it.
Perhaps this is more a kind of therapy, as though the very nature of the blues melody enables listeners to unbottle their emotions in some way. The blues is so powerful, so emotional. So what's happening in the music? Well, much of its effect comes from the shift between major and minor keys.
This is a minor chord as opposed to the major chord is happier. Now, you actually raise the third to get the major, and that makes everything okay. And then when you go, all of a sudden, just drops the mood. Minor signals a darkness. Minor signals sadness. Minor.
It's a curious thing, though, isn't it? Why should a minor key be sad, and why should a major key be not sad?
Don't know, but it is.
A good melody, like many things in art, or even in life, will keep us guessing. A good melody will give us a moment of uncertainty, followed by a feeling of resolution, tension and release. And this is what we mean when we talk about being moved by a great tune.
When you think of melodies, I mean, the great melodies do come from people. They don't come from machines.
Right.
But if you were to make a machine, a computer, that would say, okay, write a tune for me. I'll give you these notes.
Here's the mathematical possibilities.
It wouldn't work. We know it wouldn't work. At least you'd have a tune, but it wouldn't be very good.
Well, the machine doesn't have a soul. And I think music is the language of the soul.
Well, that's why I love it. It's because I've never learned to understand it. That's what's going to be interesting about your series, is that it's like the minute you've got a thing, hopefully it'll disappear a little bit. Do you know what I mean? You won't ever really pin down the truth, in my mind, because it's... I hope you don't, anyway.
I think we forget that every single day that we are blessed to wake up in the morning, we hear the song of life. We hear the birds singing and all the various sounds that are of nature. And that, within itself, lets us know that we have an ongoing melody that we cannot forget.
National anthem. Not a bad tune, I suppose, but like that it does sound a bit bare and empty. On the other hand, now it becomes a real piece of music. We've added harmonies to our melody, and harmony is the final tool we use after rhythm and melody. Harmony isn't just adding chords to a tune. In that piece by Stravinsky that Bobby McFerrin liked, there's no real tune. It's just a series of chords. Harmony is its sole component, but it's still very effective. But harmony can give a sense of melody to a tune that otherwise has little character of its own.
Listen to the melody without the chords and see if it moves you at all.
Not a great tune, really.
It's not setting me on fire, but put it with the chords. Harmony really is all that other stuff that's going on underneath that most people may not notice, but that really is doing all the work, I think. Because the melody's easy to hear, but the harmony is all those people that, you know, when somebody goes up on stage and they collect their Oscar or their Grammy and they thank all those people, well, the harmony is all those other people that they're thanking, because they really did it.
Sometimes a single chord can tell us where the music's going. Such is the power of harmony.
Chords can imply strength, they can imply passion. They can imply masculinity as well as femininity. You put all these elements together and you've got a hormonal gasoline.
Music is above all a language of emotion, and harmonies help to reveal the passions of the listener and the performer.
I'd go to a party, and they were always, you know, the boys were over here and the girls were over there. And the guy had, you know, really good hair or a sharp outfit on, or he had a nice car, or he knew how to dance better than I did, or he had a better line, you know, an intro line. Hey, blah, 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 my name is Bobby, and blah, blah, blah. And I'd kind of wander out of the party room, and I'd go around the house, and I'd see a piano. And I'd sit down just by myself, and I'd start to play the piano, and I'd just sit there and... up, and there would be a girl. And I'd get back down into it and throw a little body language. And I'd look up again, and there was another girl. And I think, this stuff is great. I didn't even have to talk. This spoke for me.
I remember a girl telling me on an airplane once that, this is a real high compliment. She had a couple of drinks, and she said, that she wasn't able to make love unless she had my music on. That's pretty good. You feel like you're just contributing to her love life. That's major, if she's telling the truth.
Every society on earth has come up with a simple form of music which reflects the basic activities of their lives, before moving on to a more elaborate form of music, which reflects the increasing complexity of life. We have music because we need it. It is a long-developing part of human nature. It's an essential tool in our endless desire for communication, and it's as natural to us as speech itself. It is the rhythm of life.